Hello, hello, hello. It's 7 o'clock. I am here. So I know you all tend to pop on at about 7:05. So I will be right here waiting for you to come on. And when you get here, make sure you tell me who you are. So someone has popped on. Who has popped on? Who do we have? Y'all give me a shout out now. You know how I feel about talking into this phone. I'm the type of person I like to interact with people. So going live and speaking into a phone, it has been challenging, but it's just becoming the new norm. So there you go. Hey, Miss Evelyn, how you doing? I think you're the first one to give me a shout out. So thank you. Hello, guys. Hello, Miss Beverly. We got Miss Beverly from California. Hey, Victoria. All right. Welcome, 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 everyone. I am really, really looking forward to today's session. I have like so many things I want to talk about. So I am trying to take all of my thoughts and all of this information that I have, and I'm trying to craft it into sessions that are meaningful and sessions that kind of flow together. So, anyway, I'm working on it, y'all. Hey, Miss Ivy. Hey, Miss Sandra. Welcome everyone. Wait, I got somebody from the UK in the house. Hey, Miss Deanne, I think I've seen you up here before. Welcome, Teresa. I'm glad you're joining me. Miss Antoinette, you know, it is always a pleasure to have you here. You are officially a part of the Curl House family. What did you say? Welcome, worldwide Curl House family. I love it. Greetings from North Carolina. Hi, Jazz. Hey, Angie. Good to see you. Good to see y'all. Y'all know I go on at 7, but I kind of like to get started around 7:10. So just to give a few more people a chance to log on. But if you have any questions, let me know. Now, I know you know the title for today's session, right? You know the title. Hi, Miss Debbie. Good to see you. The title, what is the title for today's session? Y'all, what's the title? What if my, no, it's not what if my hair loss fails. What if my hair won't grow back? Now what? If your hair doesn't grow back, now what? That's what we're talking about tonight. Um, okay, so we got somebody from Detroit. Welcome, Cassandra from Detroit. I spent 2 years in Michigan. I went to graduate school at Michigan State. So I went to Lansing. So I was there for 2 years and I went to Detroit one time and I went to the Detroit African American Museum. OMG. It was awesome. The African American Museum in Detroit was off the chain. It was by far the best I have ever been to. Miss Debbie, actually, I think I did respond. I got you. People have been sending me emails. Y'all bear with me. I've traveled a lot. I have about a week delay. So you may get an email at 2 o'clock in the morning. You may get one at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I get it in where I fit in. So if I have not responded, I will respond by tomorrow. But Miss Debbie, I believe I did respond before this message. So yes, it was like the best African American museum. It was off the chain. Hey, cuz, good to see everyone. Good to see everyone. Thank you for joining in. We are talking about some hair loss solutions today. So there are many types of hair loss solutions, y'all. Many types of hair loss solutions. I can just name a ton of them, things that people are doing when they are dealing with hair loss or dry, itchy scalp or thinning hair or whatever category you want to put it in. There are many types of solutions, and we can actually categorize those solutions. Some are surgical solutions. Some are non-surgical solutions. Tonight, we will be talking about some of the non-surgical solutions. On our live last week, somebody asked me about transplant. So people are interested in transplants too. Transplants would definitely be a surgical solution because it is just that. Is anybody interested in a hair transplant? I'm just curious. Anybody interested? Thank you, Paul, Miss Pauline. I got my hair back out, y'all. Y'all know each week you don't know who you're going to see when I go live. Y'all know I like to reinvent myself, which is good because I got to a point where I didn't reinvent myself. I just wore my hair the same way. But as of late, I have been reinventing myself in terms of my hair. So today I have my hair out. Again, I took that ponytail out that I liked. The ponytail from last week, it was a different look. All my hair was off my face. The hair was down to my butt. It was great for the party, but that was about it. It's great for the party, but that's it. So thank you. Hey, Edward, thank you for joining. You consistently join every week, and I appreciate it. So I'm going to do something different as I get started today. I normally just start talking because I feel like everybody knows me by now, but that may not be the case. So I'm going to open up and actually introduce myself. I am Karen. I am a licensed cosmetologist. I specialize in natural hair. I am also a certified trichologist, which means, hold on, which means, wait a minute, hold on. The connection is sketchy. Audio is fine, but video keeps freezing. Is anybody having that experience where the video is freezing? It's not freezing on my end. Can you all hear me? Can you all see me? I have a guest coming in about 5 or 10 minutes. So I want to make sure that you all can hear me. No freezing. Okay, is anybody else? Hey, Miss Gladys. Okay, are we all good? Everybody can hear me? Everybody can see me? We're all good? Okay. Okay, no, yes, it's freezing. Video is shaky. Oh, crap. So, all right, let's see. So it says video is freezing. And this is when I sit here with my non-technology self. Um, I don't know what you say. It's better now because the guests that I have on, yes, I can sit here and talk for days, but the guests that I have coming on soon will actually need to you actually need to see some things. So okay, someone can hear me and see me. Chats are frozen. Is it still frozen, y'all? Can y'all hear me and see me? It says yes. A lot of people are saying yes. Is it better now? Okay, yes, I can hear and see. Okay, so are we all good? I can keep going. Is that yes? I can keep going? Okay, I'll keep going. um if you can't see me, that's going to be an issue because like I said, you don't need to see me. Pretty soon I need you to see my guest that's coming on because he has several things that he wants to show you. Okay, keep going. All right, y'all, I'm gonna keep going. Hey, Miss Blue. Okay, so I said I wanted to properly introduce myself because that's not something that I ever do. I feel like you all are my Curl House family and I just start talking. But I am Karen Flowers. I'm a licensed cosmetologist. I specialize in natural hair and I'm a trichologist. So, in other words, a trichologist, y'all should know what a trichologist means by now. But a trichologist is someone who specializes in hair loss and scalp disorders. And trichology is not cosmetic. So, cosmetology is cosmetic. So that's the styling. It's making the hair look fabulous, right? But trichology, we specialize in the science. Okay, I'm gonna keep going, Miss Antoinette. The video is blurry, sketchy, but keeps freezing. Ugh, I don't know what to do about that. If it gets too bad, just let me know and I'll have to, I don't know, reschedule if you all can't see anything. But anyway, so we are more like paraprofessionals because with trichologists it's not just the cosmetics or what the hair looks like. We have to understand the body systems and how the body systems affect the hair and affect hair growth. And in this day and age when a lot of us are dealing with a lot of medical challenges, we're taking a lot of medications, we're completely stressed out, for example, that really affects our hair. So when people come to me and say, hey, my hair is not growing, I'm not going to say, hey, just take this product and just put this on your hair and then that's it. No, I'm going to ask a few questions about what else is going on within your body because everything kind of works together, right? So that's what trichologists do. As a trichologist, As a trichologist, I treat a lot of people who have hair loss disorders. Now, as I've been talking about for the past few, I don't know, past few weeks or past few months at this point, trichology or hair loss is not just one factor. A lot of times, hair loss is multi factors. There are many, many different reasons you could be losing your hair, or your hair could be growing slowly, or your hair is starting to thin. A lot of reasons you could be losing your hair, but and it's a lot of factors that come into play with how to regrow your hair. As I talked about last week, there are some types of hair loss disorders that want the hair loss disorder. For example, CCCA is just one of many, but that is with CCCA, that the CCCA is central, meaning it starts in the center, centrifugal, meaning it radiates out into a circle, cicatricial, means scarring. Hair loss means, alopecia means loss. So with Louise, you said your CCA was started by stress. Yes, so that with CCCA, there's an inflammation under your scalp that attacks your hair follicle, and it can be very, very aggressive. And once that inflammation destroys the sebaceous gland, which is the oil producing gland, destroys the follicle also, then when the hair follicle is no longer viable, the hair will not grow back. Okay, Miss Deanne, you have CCCA. Once the hair follicle is completely destroyed, then the hair will not grow back. When it is completely destroyed are the operative words, because it takes time for a hair follicle to be completely destroyed. That is why it is important. If you see that your hair is thinning, then that is the time that you get help. You don't just let your hair just completely thin out. The best type of treatment is early treatment. The sooner you can treat the hair loss disorder, the better the prognosis. The sooner you can treat it, the better prognosis. Now, there are some women who unfortunately have gone through different types of treatment, may not have treated it early or may have treated it early, but their hair follicle is destroyed and hair may not grow back in that area. And I keep saying may not grow back because with certain hair loss disorders, again, it is best to treat it early. And in terms of the prognosis, we don't really know, generally speaking, you don't know how long it's going to take to restore or to repair or to help the hair follicle. I typically say give it a year. It is not an overnight plan, it's not overnight results. You have to give it time. Now, for some people who where the hair follicle is completely destroyed, the hair may not grow back, and these people are looking for options. And this is the conversation that I wanted to have tonight. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about the emotional aspect of hair loss. I'm actually going to do that probably next week. I have a special guest on this evening, and I was able to catch him this evening. So I'm going to talk about some of the hair loss solutions this evening. But I wanted to be able to give everyone options. There are many, 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 many options for restoring your hair. So even those with CCCA, and some hair follicles may be destroyed. Like in my trichology clinic, when I do treat people, we look at their hair, we look at what's growing back. You definitely may be able to grow back some hair, but you may not be able to grow back all hair. Okay, let me say that again. You may be able to grow back some, but you may not be able to grow back all. So if you're unable to grow back all, but you still want to feel confident in wearing your hair out, you still want to feel confident regardless, I want to talk to you about some other hair loss solutions, some innovative cosmetic things that you can do to your hair, both while you're treating it and if you're in a situation where your hair can't grow back, then what? Now I know Jada Pinkett, she said on her Instagram account recently, she said, me and this alopecia thing, we're just gonna have to be friends. Like, they're gonna be friends. So, and what I took that to mean, that means, in my opinion, that she is ready to embrace the alopecia and just rock her bald head. Right? Anybody ready to rock their bald head? Can anybody do that? I know Jada's rocking it. She looks fabulous. I've cut all my hair off before. I rocked it, but it's a little different when you're doing it as a hairstyle, which is what I did, and having a hair loss disorder. It's a different pain point. It's completely different. So I'm not trying to compare the two, but Jada is doing it because she does have alopecia and she's ready to embrace it. She's ready for she and her alopecia to be friends. Anybody ready for their alopecia to be friends? I hope y'all can see me. I'm still getting messages that the video is freezing. But I'm going to keep going. Can y'all hear me? Can I get a comment? A comment hasn't come in yet. So I'm ready to bring on the guests, but I want to make sure y'all can see me and y'all can hear me. Can y'all see me and can y'all hear me? I'm not getting any messages. Somebody let me know. Can you see me? Okay, I can see you and hear you. Okay, fabulous. Thank you. Okay, y'all. So I am going to introduce you to our guest tonight. He is a hair loss practitioner. Okay, all right, y'all can hear me. Great. Thank you. I appreciate that. I want to introduce you to him. He is, well, let me just bring him on. Give me a moment. Let me bring him on. Oh, wait a minute. All right. Hold on. We got it. Hey, Jarrell.
Hey, Karen, how are you?
I'm great. Okay. You know how I feel about technology. So you're here. Fantastic. All right. So I started to introduce you, but then I thought, well, let me bring you on so that people can see you. So I want to introduce you to a colleague of mine. His name is Jarrell. He is a hair loss practitioner, and he specializes in creating healthy, operative word, healthy cosmetic solutions for people who are dealing with hair loss. I use the word healthy because a lot of people are dealing with or making things or providing hair loss solutions, but they are not healthy for the hair and healthy for the scalp. So Jarrell, he is right on my page because we can talk about hair health and we get each other. Can I go ahead and tell him that you're a trichologist in training too, Jarrell?
Sure.
Okay, I can't help myself. So yes, he is also a trichologist in training. Yay! He's actually going to the school that I attended. So of course, I hold you dear to my heart. So Jarrell, I was just talking about some of the hair loss solutions, some of the cosmetic solutions that can be provided for people who are not just who have hair loss that can't be restored, but also people who are going through a treatment for hair loss. And even in that treatment, they still want to be able to make sure their hair is healthy. So can you talk about some of the things that you provide, that you offer, with your practice?
Okay, sure. Again, my name is Jarrell Bryant Jones. I'm a licensed cosmetologist. I'm the salon manager at Just Main's Hair Salon in Glen Allen, Virginia. I'm also a practicing trichologist, as was stated earlier, and I specialize in natural hair care and healthy hair care solutions for hair loss. There are tons of things now, with technology and with creativity about different artists and hairstylists like myself that have created so many solutions that we can use for hair loss outside of the traditional things that we use as far as hair solutions and systems. And most of the things that I provide are again healthy for the hair. They allow you to access your scalp in most cases, depending on what the solutions are, and they're pretty versatile. You can most of the time have your own hair out with these different solutions as far as blending and things like that. And they're most of the time they're replaceable as you can take it in and out, with ease without having to have anything adhere to your head or sewn down, causing tension to your scalp.
So you're saying that I think what I hear you're saying is that some of the things that what you don't recommend are products that I give an example like hair glue. Like if you are dealing with some hair loss in the top and you want to put something on your scalp to make your hair look fuller, hair glue, is
Yeah.
that a no-no?
Hair glue itself, like the barbing glue is used for quick weaves and things like that, I definitely shy upon those. As a matter of fact, I actually had a quick weave client today. And when she scheduled her appointment, she walked in and she asked, you know, could she get braids, but we weren't able to do braids. So she asked if she had a quick weave for her event this weekend. And I spent about 10 minutes trying to persuade her to not get a quick weave and to get something else, some other solutions. But she was adamant on getting a quick weave. She said she's had them before. She's used to them and blah, 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 blah. So eventually, I told her I can do them. Now, let me say this. Quick weaves can be done safely if they're done properly.
Mm-hmm.
But in most cases, they are not done properly. There aren't enough protectants put on the head or on the scalp and things like that, which causes traction alopecia,
Mm-hmm.
thinning, scarring, and things like that of the scalp. So that's why I typically shy away from doing those type of installations. But again, the client was adamant after I basically pled for her not to do so. So we continued to do the process. But in doing so, I made sure she was adequately protected. I put on multiple layers of protectants and molds, and I used multiple caps and Sanex strips and all types of things to make sure I had barriers of protection over her scalp
Okay.
for the solution. But I also told her as well to take it down after a week or a week and a half, because at that point, you don't want her hair to be sitting underneath all those layers and start to, you know, produce mold and bacteria and things like that, which is a common thing with quick weaves as well.
Okay.
So I made sure that she took it out in the decent amount of time.
Okay. So if you had it your way, because I know as hairstylists and as trichologists, we really promote like you can do certain hairstyles, but as long as they are healthy. If you had it your way, what would have been a better solution? A better option. So if someone is coming in, like I have a few people online who have CCCA, or some people who are online who are struggling with regrowing their hair, or people may have hair follicles that are no longer active. What can they do? What's an option?
Options for clients like that, one of my popular options would be toppers.
Okay.
Or in layman's terms, back in old terms, a toupee of sorts. Uh,
Okay. I know when people hear toupee, it's like,
we try to get away
oh,
from that term, so we use the word topper now.
okay.
Because it's more versatile now. We have women that wear them now, men that wear them, you know, children that wear them because they have hair loss as well. So, you know,
Okay.
so those are things that are available. As a matter of fact, I have one right here
Yeah.
that
Do
I
you have an
made.
example of a topper?
Yeah, I have one that
I'm
I
so
made.
glad you used the word topper, because I think when you think of toupee, I'm having some flashbacks of
Yeah.
some men with some toupees that they don't look attractive. So we'll go
Well,
with the word topper.
this
Okay.
is a topper that I made right here. I made this at the salon yesterday, as a matter of fact. Um, it took about an hour or so to make. It has a lace fronting and closure right here, and then it has a lace wig net base. I could take it off the mannequin to show you all,
Yeah.
but
Let me.
this is
Yeah.
this is the diameter of the actual topper.
So it is literally, it's not an entire custom wig. It is just a topper. So it sits on top of your hair and you can have the remaining hair out. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Oh,
And you can
okay.
also, and also, depending on the density of the topper, you can literally have the topper on, and it can look like a full head of hair. If you get like a 200 density or something like that, or an extra full density, you
Mm-hmm.
can have it so full in the back and crown area where it'll cover and it'll fill in. It'll look like it's a full head of hair.
So how is the, well, two things. A lot of the people who follow me are natural and they have like natural looking hair or natural textured hair. Are there toppers that can be customized to mimic the natural texture of the client's hair? Like for example, my hair, and even gray hair, for example. How does that work in terms of customization of the topper?
Well, absolutely. But thanks to again to technology now, back in back days years ago, you know, we had like, you know, limited solutions as far as, you know, what color you can get, what length you can get, you know, what texture you can get. Now you can pretty much get any texture, any curl pattern, any, you know, color combination. And sometimes, depending on like, you know, where you get your actual units provided from, they can take a step of your hair, like a lock of your hair. You can send it to them, and they will literally mimic that exact curl pattern for you.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, because I've seen some of your toppers and just
Okay,
toppers for people who
here's a
have
small
shorter.
piece right here, like
Uh-huh.
a small like frontal, like a bang piece right here that you can use. You can cut to the correct length. And this is a natural texture right here.
Let me see. Okay, let me see it. Okay, now what am I looking at now?
This is a small like topper piece. You could clip it in for like a bang almost, but it hasn't
Oh,
been
so
cut
it's
to
it
it hasn't been cut to length yet. It's a mini size.
okay. Okay. Now tell me, how is that applied? Did you say it can be clipped in? Because I
It could
know
be
we are. Yeah. How do you apply a topper?
you can well you have multiple application methods. You can use comb clips like this right here, which I have on this one.
Oh, okay. I see.
You can use
Okay.
that. You can use the wig clips, the ones that snap and clamp into place.
Okay.
You could put a PU tape lining around, which is polyurethane tape lining around, which is an
Okay.
anti-slip tape lining, and you can use that with like a lace or a wig tape, and it'll
Okay.
adhere to the head. If you have like total baldness, where a scarring or it won't grow back, you can use it and adhere to the head in that area to cover that area with that as well.
Oh, okay. So, and that is much better than, in terms of application, is much better than just taking glue and gluing it down to the scalp. And
Absolutely,
because a lot of people who are helping, trying to restore their hair, they're using products and putting stuff on the scalp to help with the restoration.
hmm
So with toppers, do you have access to your scalp? Like a lot of
absolutely,
people will use the Curl House growth drops, for example. And even in treatment, and even under a topper, for example, can they be used under a topper? Do people have access?
absolutely. Depending on your application method, if you're not adhering it to your head using like a tape or a glue, you can take it off and on as you so
Okay.
please. So you can literally take
Oh,
off the
okay. So you
little
can
work.
take it. Okay.
So I'll just show you
What
the
was that? I
inside
didn't
of
hear you,
this one
Jarrell.
right here. Right, here we go. I'll show you the inside of this one right here. You can see where the inside of it is made with like a lace,
Okay.
which
Okay,
is
I see it.
very
Okay.
is breathable. And then this lace closure part right here, which is made out of lace, that's also breathable as well. So you always have oxygen access to your scalp.
Oh, okay.
And then
So
whenever you
when
want to
you
take it off to treat your hair or wash your natural hair or do everything to your scalp, you can just take it off, place it on your stand or whatever you have to place it on, go do your treatment, whatever you want to do, let it rest for the night, wake up in the morning, and put it back on your head and go about your day.
I think the topper is a excellent solution, like an excellent solution, because you can color them and you can customize them and you can cut them so
Yes,
that
ma'am.
they look very similar to your natural hair. And
And you
I
can make
think
them
for
any
some.
size as well. Like for example, let's say you had a small bald patch like right in a particular area of your head somewhere, you can
Uh-huh.
literally get a topper little piece made, whether it be made from lace or made from a wefted foundation, and you can literally have that piece secure it into that one spot, and it'll blend in with. You can have it blended with your hair, cut to the style and everything, and you can literally conceal that area and blend with your natural hair.
Wow. Okay. How long? I think that's just such a awesome recommendation. For those of you all who don't know, I work with Just Main's Natural Hair Salon as well, and I send a lot of my clients to Just Main's Natural Hair Salon, and specifically to Jarrell, because he does consultations, where in his consultation he will help you to determine the hair loss solution for you. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. So I want to definitely make sure people have your contact information if it's something they're interested in. So I'll definitely put it in a message in a moment, Edward, the contact information. But okay, so we have toppers. Can you do toppers for both men and women?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The new craze now is the men toppers because men can get, if you have total baldness with men, men can get a
Oh,
topper adhered to their head that literally mimics our natural wave pattern of our hair,
I've
and
seen that.
and get it close cut and blend it and everything like it was the natural crown of their head. So that's
I've
actually a
seen that.
topper piece. Those are top. People call them man weaves and things like that, but those are most of those are actually topper pieces.
Yeah, because what a lot of people don't know, I mean, my audience is primarily women, but I do work with men as well. And men have men are not as vocal as women, but men deal with hair loss too. I had last week a man said, hey, where is, I want to get a hair transplant, can you give me information about hair transplant? So I think it's good that you're sharing information for men as well, because men need it too, even though we don't talk about it as much. Men deal with it as well, they just deal with it differently. So what is, okay, so we have the topper. Oh, did you want to say something else? I'm sorry.
I was going to say, just a little sidebar, but I had a colleague who actually is also a wig maker and ventilator as well. Her husband was experiencing hair loss, like towards the back of his area, towards the nape of his neck, and he had a bald patch that was getting there, and she literally took a topper piece she had, cut a piece from the topper, and made it the size of that area, and filled it in and blended it in with his haircut, and he literally, covered his entire bald spot, and no one knew the wiser. So there are many things you can do with topper pieces. You can really cover any spot pretty much, as long as you have the proper tools and proper installation.
Wow, really? Okay. Now, some people, the reason I'm so fascinated with toppers is because not everyone not everyone wants to wear the traditional wig. Like, people want a more natural look, and with the topper, they can have their some of their natural hair out, and the topper just covers the area that's needed, and it's a healthy alternative. That's what I'm most impressed about. What are some of the other hair loss solutions? I know we talked about like custom wigs. So I know now, back in the day, you would get a wig from the beauty supply store, and that's exactly what it looked like, a wig. So what are some of the things that you do with a wig? I'm putting your contact information in here as well.
Okay. Well, in regards to wigs, I am a certified wig maker as well. I make custom wig foundations. I'm a custom wig ventilator. Ventilating is when you hand tie the strands of hair to the lace foundation. I can show you a sample of it actually. This is a wig here that I am working on right now. This is the wig foundation right here. You can see the bottom. I'm going to put wefts, of course, across the entire foundation. But right here in the parting and in the front hairline, I'm hand tying individual hairs to the lace foundation.
Okay, wait, let me post that. Okay, now tell me, this is, now what is this now? I'm sorry, I was trying to put
Okay,
this contact information up here.
so
Okay, I
when
got it.
when this cap came, it was a stock wig cap, and there was all lace. There was nothing, no hair here at all. This is all
Okay,
just lace.
okay,
So what I've done is I've ventilated the individual strands of hair into the lace to create the custom part area
okay.
for the wig. And I'm going to ventilate the hairline as well to mimic the client's hairline around the first inch and a half or so of this hairline. I'm going to ventilate hairs to mimic the client's hairline.
Okay. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
it's not just, I know lace fronts are all the rage right now. So what you're doing, as opposed to most lace fronts. Now, I don't know this, I'm definitely not an expert in this, but most lace fronts, when I see lace fronts, to me they look like lace fronts. Like, if you're going to
Absolutely.
wear a wig, normally if I do slap a wig on, my hairline is normally out. To me that looks more natural.
Mm-hmm.
But when I see a lace front, I can look at a lace front and say, oh, that's a lace front. And with this new hair, all that stuff, anyway, maybe I'm too old for it. You create
No,
what you
not at
created
all.
from the lace front.
I agree with you. Most
Different
wigs
from
out here
just
look
the
like wigs.
hairline. And I was like, y'all are killing me. Oh
And
gosh, can you please do something with that wig?
yeah, this is like,
So when
this
you
is more of a
create
this is more of
your
a luxury
pieces,
service because of the time commitment and what it takes to do this type of things. But most clients, if they're having hair loss and want to restore their hair or mimic their hair, they want to have a realistic hairline that looks like their hairline when they had that hair there before. So I
okay,
will have the client come in and they may show me photos of their former hairline when they had their hair, and I'll do a custom mold of their hair in the shop and everything. And I'll mimic that hairline based off their photos or based off what they, what their specifications are. And I'll literally put that mold onto the block, which is this is a canvas block right here. I'll put onto the canvas block, and then I'll go ahead and ventilate the hairs according to that pattern that I made from their head.
Now, okay. Now, I think that's awesome. So what you do, you will create a hairline that mimics their natural hairline. So you'll ask the client to bring you a picture of what their hair actually looks like.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
mimic their hairline.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is dope. That is awesome that you can actually create a custom hairline. Oh,
yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. Side note, Lady 05. Yes, that is Jarrell's hair. He has
Yes,
locks.
it is.
Somebody asked about your hair. He had the locks go all the way down your back.
Yes,
What kind of locks? You got
it is.
brother locks or traditional locks? What kind of locks do you have?
Well, I started off traditional, but then I started latch locking like somewhere down the line, and I continued to do so. But they're a little bit bigger than sister locks, but they're not quite micro locks either. So they're kind of in the medium size between those two. And it is now 16 years this month.
16 years.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you have customized your locks as well.
Mm-hmm.
They look good. Now, what about just wigs in general? Like if somebody wants just a custom wig in general, and I know a custom wig can be whether or not you're dealing with hair loss or not. If somebody wants a custom wig, that's something that you offer. You said you do custom wigs as well.
Absolutely. The most popular thing is, we offer wigs at Just Mane. So the most common thing is to order one of our wigs from our website, and then what I will do is they come with a stock hairline because they're stock made, they're mass produced. Uh-huh. So what I'll do is, if you want to have a custom hairline service done to your Just Mane wig or to any wig that you want to provide to us for this service, I can again do the same thing I do with my hair loss clients by mimicking their hairline. So what I would do is I will remove the first 1.5 to 2 inches of hair from the frontal or closure that you purchased. And then I will, again, take a mold of the client's head at the salon, sketch the pattern of the hairline. If they have their hairline, most clients that get the wigs from our website are people that have hairlines. They just want to have wigs and, play around and have fun. So I'll mimic their hairline that they have on their head, or use photos again, either or. And then I will go ahead and then reapply or reventilate those hairs back to the frontal or closure based off their hair pattern.
Okay. So everything you do is about custom, because when you're dealing with hair loss or when you're trying to restore your hair, you're already dealing with your confidence as well. So
Absolutely.
If you go out, because I know I've had a bad looking wig before, but because I'm a hairstylist, I can take a bad looking wig and make it look good. That's easy for me. Mm-hmm. But what you're doing, you will customize a wig so that the person feels confident and comfortable in the hair that they're rocking.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that's awesome. Now, in terms of, I wanted to talk about one more solution, because I know you sent me a list of some of the things that you offer. Okay. You talked about crochet braids, like I guess using a certain technique. Most people are familiar with crochet braids. Well, let me not make a presumption. Can you talk about crochet braids? Because not everyone wants to put something on their head or take something off. Some people just want something that's, once it's done, their hair is done. They don't have to take it off or put it back on. Can you talk about crochet braids as an option as well for people who are in the process of restoring their hair?
Absolutely. Crochet braids and crochet hair with loose hair is a big rage now. It's back in style again, and people are in demand for it again. But when you have hair loss issues, you typically don't want to have, all these things pulling and tugging and causing stress and tension to your scalp. So what I'll provide is most people that do have hair loss that get crocheteds, I offer things such as like different nettings and different foundations to apply the hair or the braids to alleviate having tension and stuff on the head. In most cases, sometimes I'll use a full net foundation I'll braid their hair down, of course, with minimal tension. And then I'll go ahead and I'll apply the net foundation over the braids. And then most of the time, I'll apply the actual hairs to the foundation and not the braids, so that it's on the foundation and it's not pulling down on the actual hair. but it
Okay.
depends on the actual condition of the person's scalp, of course, the density
Okay.
of their hair and things like that. But if you do have a good density and you are used to having braids and you don't experience much breakage or damage from braids, that's typically, the standard option is, just do a braid pattern and then apply the hair to the braids.
Okay. And what's awesome about that is with crochet braids is two things. Crochet braids allow you to get to your scalp.
Absolutely.
I'm all about scalp care. So it allows you to get to your scalp. And second, unlike braids that where the hair is anchored, the weave or the extension hair is anchored to the scalp or to your hair at the root rather. Crochet braids, the hair is cornrowed and the extension hair is anchored to a cornrow, so it has a much stronger anchor than loose hanging braids. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that helps to minimize the tension of the braid on the scalp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have a few comments I'm going to go through, um, and I have one comment. Um, Lady O 05 said that she has thinning edges and wanted to get some information on how to fix that. Well, lady, I have a question. How long have your edges been thinning? And do you still have hair on your edges? So I don't know if the thinning edges is from traction alopecia, which is tension on the hairline, or is it thinning for other reasons? So if you can answer that question in terms of your edges, because there are some things that you can do to help with your thinning edges, but how long have they been thinning, and do you actually have hair around your hairline? And Jarrell, do you have any suggestions? I'm definitely going to suggest the follicle stimulating growth drops to her, depending on what her response is. But in terms of people who have thinning edges, do you have any suggestions for that?
Again, I would recommend the same thing, the stimulating growth drops, of course, and or the entire system for that matter. But also,
Okay.
while I don't have a fixed all because we don't have the full trichology program up right now, which will be open in the near future, but we just
Mhm.
offer solutions as far as covering, concealing, blending, and just making you feel more comfortable while you're doing
Okay.
treatments and things like that. So we definitely could offer a solution where we can help conceal or blend those thinning edges so they're more fuller, or
Okay.
more reflecting and more, or more like they looked before. But treatment wise, again, we can't speak on that just yet because we haven't offered our full trichological service yet.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I have some questions popping in. I'm going to go through the questions with you. Let's see. Let's see. Lady, okay, lady, so you said you've had it for years. You've never wore a wig or you never wore braids. Thinning temples. So thinning temples and thinning edges may be two different things, lady. Typically when it's thinning temples, it's something else going on here. Generally speaking, this is very, very, very generally speaking, by the way. A lot of times when you have thinning temples, a lot of times that has something to do with hormonal imbalances. But can't really, that's just in general. So a lot of times when it's thinning temples, it may be hormonal imbalances, it may be deficiencies within your body. So it's a few things that I'm going to suggest. The first thing that I suggest for you is to because I just give out information, shoot me an email to info@curlhouse.com so that I can speak with you a little more privately about what may be going on internally. Because if it's an internal issue, internal issues need to be fixed with internal solutions. So a lot of times that is addressing what deficiencies is going on within your body and setting up some type of plan to address internal deficiencies. So you can shoot me an email and I can talk to you about it more privately. info@curlhouse.com. Second thing I recommend for you, lady, is to try the Curl House hair restoration system. It's a set of 4 products: shampoo, conditioner, leave-in, and growth drops. This whole system is on the website, curlhouse.com. You can go to the website and read more about it. It's a lot of before and after pictures about women who has used the system to help regrow and restore their edges and their hair. So I would definitely recommend both that system and making some internal changes to address what's going on within your temples. Someone has how much does crochet braids cost? Uh, Debbie, crochet braids start at 200. Start at 200. Now, when they are, that's general crochet braids. What Jarrell offers, he offers something more customized. So, in terms of exact prices, you would have to set up a consultation with him, and he can go into more detail about a specific price. And in terms of consultations in general, that's what I wanted to ask you about. In terms of getting this appointment, like, how can people get in touch with you? I did put it up on the screen, but how does it work from start to finish, in terms of them coming in to see you, to getting the unit, to setting an appointment, to you determining what's going to be best um, for their solution? How does that work?
Well, how that works is first they would either call the salon or visit our website at justmains.com to schedule an actual consultation with me. Once that consultation is placed and we'll meet the person, we're going to go over your hair history, your conditions, your concerns, your issues, just general overview of all your hair concerns. We can find out, what the underlying issues are. Then from there, I'll actually examine your hair, examine your scalp, see, where your trigger spots or trouble spots are as far as your hair and everything. And then from there, we'll discuss, what solutions you're comfortable with or what things you aren't comfortable with, and we'll figure out what's the best solution plan for you to have. But sometimes clients may have, we need more than one solution, for the entire head. We need one solution on one area and a different type for another area. So it's like a hybrid situation. So we have to determine all of that in our initial consultation. And then
Okay.
once that's done, we'll then, decide on what the actual solution or solutions are. And then you would pay your deposit for the actual service to be started, and then we would go into the creation and customization of your actual unit. Once that's done, you come in for we do a fitting to get your measurements of your head, depending on what you get. We'll do measurements and get molds and measurements of your head, your diameter, your crown, things like that, and then we'll customize the unit based on your actual head shape and the contours of your head and things like that. And
Okay.
then once the unit is made, we'll bring you in for a pre-fitting to make sure things are fitting correctly, they're aligned properly, the colors are correct, things like that. And if they
Okay.
are correct, we'll move forward with our post-production. If they aren't correct, we have to tweak it a little bit. We'll then do the tweaking at that time frame. Then we'll bring you back for the final fitting. And then the final fitting will make sure everything is pitch perfect and fitting according to your specifications. And then we will have a custom unit that's made for you.
Okay. Okay. So that Jarrell just explained the consultation and the process and how it works. So it's not an overnight process. It does take time to make sure your whatever the option you choose is going to be customized for you. So if you're interested in making an appointment with Jarrell, he is a trichologist with Just Main's Hair Salon. You can call directly. I put the number up. It's 804-416-5022. It should be on the screen if you want to set up that initial consultation with him. Gail wants to know, how can we order it? I don't know if you're talking about Jarrell's service, which is what I just mentioned, or the Curl House hair restoration line. Gail, you can go to curlhouse.com. So you can go directly to my website, which is curlhouse.com. I put it up on the screen. If you're interested in learning more about the product line or and purchasing the product line, you can go to curlhouse.com. Somebody asked about, hold on, if they should use butters or oils in your natural hair. Sure, absolutely, Donna. You can use butters and oils in your natural hair. I'm not opposed to butters and oils. They are great lubricants for your hair. They're great to give your hair sheen as well. But I also recommend to not only use butters and oils, also put a moisturizer. Moisturizer is something that contains water. Water, water, water. So, yes, you can use butters and oils, no problem, but butters and oils should not replace moisturizer. A moisturizer is something that contains water. It can be a thicker moisturizer, a creamier moisturizer that contains water. It can be a lighter moisturizer like this, a leave-in conditioner that contains water. But make sure that you are putting oils and butters in your hair. If you have anything else to add about that, Jarrell, by all means, you can jump in too.
just a sidebar on the oils. Just be careful of what type of oils you're putting in your hair, though,
Okay.
because some oils are very, very thick or comedogenic, which means they won't penetrate into the cuticle and into the actual scalp, into the follicles. So you want to make sure you get the very light oils, such as like a flaxseed or a grapeseed oil, things of that consistency. That way they can actually penetrate and get into the hair and give you the nourishment that you need instead of just coating the top of the hair and putting a layer on the scalp.
Absolutely. Do you like coconut oil, Jarrell? I love coconut oil.
I,
What's your go-to?
on the hair, yes.
Uh,
On the hair, yes. On the scalp, not so much.
yeah, I don't oil the scalp. Like I'm just, yeah, I'm talking about the hair. Like I'm not an oil person on the scalp. Like you said, a lot of oils are very clogging to the scalp.
Mhm.
Not all, but they are very clogging to the scalp, and a lot of times they exacerbate the dry problem as opposed to correcting it. So yeah, I don't put it on the scalp either. And the growth drops that I carry are water based for that reason. Something that's very moisturizing to the scalp as opposed to drying or oiling the scalp. um okay, let's see. Okay, Gail, do you also do hair at Curl House? So me, I am officially a retired hairstylist. How you like them apples? So no, I no longer style hair at Curl House. Curl House Salon was my former salon. It was open for like 11 years, but I actually took Curl House and I merged Curl House with Just Main's Natural Hair Salon. So I don't do hair anymore, but Jarrell is also a hairstylist and he also specializes in natural hair. And see, he's not only a hair loss specialist, he is a natural hair specialist as well. So he can be reached directly for a hairstyling appointment or for hair loss solutions at that same number, 804-416-5022. His salon is located in the Richmond area, Glen Allen, actually. So he's with Just Main's Hair Salon and he specializes in natural hair and he is fabulous. Um, and let's see. Louise, you said, so what do you suggest for any hair thinning? So, Miss Louise, in terms of thinning in general, thinning and to restore hair, you have to get to the root of why the hair is thinning in the first place. And that can be a vast number of reasons that the hair is thinning. I do suggest, I mean, there are many, many reasons. It could be medical issues, it could be high stress, it could be inflammation with the body, it could be some type of sickness within the body. It's just so many reasons your hair can be thinning. So you have to get to the point, you have to pinpoint why the hair is thinning, and a trichologist can help you with that. Now, because with Just Mains we are in the process of expanding our hair loss clinic, we are not taking full trichological appointments where we kind of go in and have talked to you for an hour and a half and help you to pinpoint the reason your hair may be thinning. But what we have been doing just to help, there are some things that you can do in general that most people are not doing that I suggest that they do that will help with their hair. And you can go to my website, curlhouse.com. I wrote a book called The Black Woman's Guide to Healthy, Thicker Hair. And I list about 7 things that you can do that will help not just your hair, but will help your body. So it's all rooted in the body. So if you can go get that book, www.curlhouse.com, Black Woman's Guide to Healthier, Thicker Hair. And I forgot the code. If you put in live, 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 you can get it for free. So I suggest that you read that book. That's in general for thinning. I also have on that website is my full product line that was developed with women who are having hair and scalp challenges in mind. I recognize as a trichologist that a product line is not the answer to all of your thinning problems. Products have their place. So it's important that you also look determine what's going on within, what type of deficiencies are going on within that'll help you to get to the root of your problem. You can shoot me an email. I may be able to give you some more specific things specifically for you in terms of what's going on with your hair, info@curlhouse.com. But I don't want to go into too many details about your personal business. on a live. But take those two suggestions, consider the product line, and consider getting that book on my website. It's an ebook, and put in the code live. Okay, let's see. I see some more questions. Hold on. Okay, Miss Deanne, we have a few questions here. You have CCCA for more than 20 years. You have hair, but scalp is burns and itches. Okay, let's see. What do you do for intensely burning scalp that gets bumps? Now, that one, you have CCCA, and you said you've had it for over 20 years, and you are still experiencing the itching and the burning on the scalp, and it's been 20 years. So, a few questions that I would ask are, what are you doing? What have you done to manage your CCCA? Because you said you still have hair, which is fantastic, but your scalp is burning and it's itching. A lot of times with CCCA, now keep in mind, I have to put my disclaimers out there that I am not a doctor. And this is not a private trichological consultation. So this is very general. Okay. Just want to make sure you get that disclaimer. Burning of the scalp, I first would look internal. A lot of times with itching and burning, there may be a deficiency in vitamin A. Vitamin A. So I want you to look into that, Miss Deanne. Vitamin A. Matter of fact, I do to as well. About a week on email, I'll get you is deficient in. That's the thing. Vitamin A is general. That's generally what I look for people who have CCCA. But what is your body deficient in general? That is what's key for you. And also, what are you applying topically to your scalp? How often are you cleansing your scalp? So with CCCA, if it's not stabilized, and I'm not sure, hold on. Gail said you can't hear me. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me, Jarrell?
Yes, ma'am.
You can hear me? Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep going because we're wrapping up anyway. But for intensely burning scalp, it's a lot of things that I can recommend. I definitely would. I wonder about your vitamin A deficiency. I wonder about other deficiencies within the body, and that's something that we do test for in our trichological assessments. What type of deficiencies do you have within your body? If you send me an email, Miss Deanne, I may be able to work with you privately, info@curlhouse.com, to give you a little more information. But how often are you cleansing your scalp? When you have CCCA, it's a scalp issue. It's not a hair issue. I know sometimes with our hair, I generally recommend you can wash your hair every 7 days, every 10 days. In general, it's my general rule of thumb. But when you have a scalp disorder like that, you may have to cleanse your scalp more frequently. What are you cleansing your scalp with, and what are you applying to your scalp? What are you doing to manage the itching? So again, it's a twofold treatment plan, looking within, and what are you applying topically to your hair? What are you applying topically to your hair, Miss Deanne? The growth drops that I talk about are excellent for itchy scalp. Excellent. People use them all the time. They're very soothing for itchy scalp. So that's part, but also what are you doing internally that may be exacerbating that itchiness? And the pulse that you're having on your scalp, I question that too. So I think with you and your CCCA, I wonder about your treatment plan in general, and you may need to get a more concrete treatment plan so that you can better manage the itching and the bumps that you're experiencing. Okay, I hope y'all can hear me. And I'm glad you cut your hair off too, Miss Deanne, because it's much better when your hair is shorter, when you can manage it. Let me see. Okay, you can take this one, Jarrell. What about Jamaican castor oil? What you think? I know that's your favorite, Jamaican castor oil. What do you think about Jamaican castor oil?
I don't recommend it. I don't. It's too heavy, first and
It's
foremost.
thick, right? Yeah.
It's too heavy.
Yeah.
It will literally clog your entire scalp. You got to think about the fact that the skin right here is the skin right here.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that will clog your pores here and break you out anywhere here on your face or on your arm, anywhere here, will do the same thing on your scalp.
Yeah.
So those heavy petroleum-based greases that you put in your hair, those heavy oils, all those things literally put a barrier of product over the scalp. And then when you keep applying it over and over again without cleansing the scalp, it's literally building up layer after layer
Yeah.
after layer after layer. And you're suffocating your scalp at that point.
Yeah, I totally agree. It is very, very thick. I think the thing in general with oils, I mean, we were just taught as kids to grease our scalp. I mean, it's like it's a part of our culture. Like grease your
Ingrained
scalp,
into it.
grease your scalp. You got to put grease on your scalp. But what people may not know, um, is that what people may not know is that when you have your body was designed to take care of itself. The scalp was designed to take care of yourself. Your scalp produces sebum, which is a natural lubricant that naturally lubricates the scalp. So it's like I've never put anything in my scalp. Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The only time I noticed that my scalp felt drier is when I got locks. Jarrell, I had sister locks for about 1 year. That was before you met me. Oh, just 1 year is all I lasted. I had sister locks for 1 year, and for the first time in my life, I experienced dry scalp. And that is because in that year where my locks were maturing, I just couldn't wash my hair the way I was used to washing my hair. I wasn't able to hydrate it. And I thought, oh my God, my scalp is dry. That's because I wasn't able to wash my hair or wash my scalp. So if you are constantly putting products on your scalp, I would suggest that you could consider how often do you actually wash and cleanse your scalp, and what are you applying to your scalp. So Jamaican castor oil is not the end all be all. I know it's been a buzz around Jamaican castor oil, but no, it's wash your hair, cleanse your scalp, put water to your scalp, which
Yeah.
helps to lubricate and hydrate the scalp. And oil can never do what water can do. It's just two separate things. So hope we answered that question. Okay. Oil and grease also affects your curl pattern. Yes, Diana, because it weighs it down.
Mm-hmm.
It weighs it down. So it's 8:04. I'm gonna take a few more questions and then we're gonna wrap up. Is grapeseed oil the best oil? Here we go. Is grapeseed oil the best oil for hair, but not the scalp? I wash my hair. Let's see, I wash my hair twice a week. Okay, so that's for you, Jarrell. Is grapeseed
Um,
oil the best oil to put on your hair, but not the scalp? That's the question.
Honestly, there is no best oil
Right.
because everybody's skin and hair is different. Every acts to different oils differently. But is it a good oil to use? Absolutely. Um,
Right.
and it's good on the skin and on the scalp, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So if you apply it to your hair and apply it closer to the scalp without putting it on the scalp, the natural body heat is going to make it run down to your scalp and lubricate the scalp anyway. So it's going to do dual function. So I
Oh,
wouldn't say, oil the scalp and the hair because then you're just like drowning it with oil. Literally just oil your hair, but make sure you get closer up to the root of your hair, and then your natural body heat from your scalp is going to let the oil run down to your scalp and nourish it also.
okay. Okay. And do you know anything about mango oil, Jarrell?
No, I haven't really heard much about mango oil.
Yeah, so we have someone that asked what about mango oil on low porosity oil, and I said the same thing. Now I can say that it's an oil that I do not know much about, but you know what, I'm going to find out. That's why I
Yeah,
was asking you,
I
Jarrell.
want to look into that as well because you just for
Yeah, it's
curiosity.
like I'm comfortable saying I don't know, but if I don't know, oh, I write it down and I'll figure it out. Somebody asked, what about mango oil on low porosity hair type? I do not know enough about mango oil to give you a confident answer. Thank you for the question because trust me, as soon as I get off this call, I'm gonna go behind the scenes and research it. But I don't know. In terms of your low porosity hair type, with that hair type, just low porosity in its ability to absorb moisture. The you know what I'm thinking about low porosity hair in general, but I won't answer the question because I don't know enough about mango oil to answer the question. Okay. Um, so, all right, we have a few more questions. Hold on. Okay, somebody asked a question. Um, about she have the drops, but what can you do to keep the hair moisturized? Okay, I have braids in the back and a sew-in on top. I've had it for 3 weeks. So what I suggest, and then you can give your suggestion. Even I'm glad you have the drops, they go directly to your scalp. When you have in braids, and what I talk about all the time, just because you have braids, that doesn't mean you do nothing to your hair. So underneath the extensions, you still have your hair that still needs moisture. So what I typically recommend is you can take a leave-in conditioner, a lightweight leave-in conditioner or moisturizer. Some companies call it different things, but contains water. This is the one I have. But if you have something at home, that's fine. Take your lightweight leave-in conditioner, even with your braids, and you're just kind of giving it a mist, because you're moisturizing your hair. And I say lightweight leave-in conditioner because when you have in braids, you also want to be mindful of the hairstyle too. So if you're putting moisturizers that are really thick and really heavy, you could compromise the hairstyle or the longevity of the hairstyle, and you don't want that either. So take a lightweight leave-in conditioner, water base, and spray your hair at least twice a week. And anyway, what were you saying, Jarrell? Did you have any suggestions about that?
Oh, I agree with what you said as well, but also, again, depending on how you're sewing, but pretty much with any kind of sewing or braids or anything, you're going to always have constant dryness because the braids are going to be taking all the moisture from your hair, from the
Mm-hmm.
synthetic hair you're using. And the sewing, because the wefts are made of cotton, thread, and the thread that's used inside of the sewing is made of cotton. It's absorbing your hair oils as well. So again, the moisture is a must. You must reapply moisture. So again,
That's
like
good.
Karen stated before, use a leave-in. Even with the leave-in, I would even say water your leave-in down a little more because you're going to have it going into your extensions, which are going to be sitting in your hair longer than usual. I would say water that leave-in a little bit more down, so you just spray it, so it's even more water-based, but it still does a dual function. Because also with braids, the more you put on your hair, the more residue you have at the base of your braids, and you don't want to have a thick, gunky residue around your hairline on your braids when you spend all that money getting your neat braids done.
Mm-hmm. That was I like myself some education. I didn't even think about the thread having cotton and cotton absorbing moisture, because I just
Hmm.
got a message from someone who asked me to talk about bedtime maintenance and pillows and why you should use a satin pillowcase. And
Yeah.
but yeah, because of the cotton, because cotton does absorb moisture.
Hmm.
So that was a good tip. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, we got a ton of questions coming in. Hold on, wait a minute. Quick question about jojoba oil. Is it true? Is jojoba oil good to use when it comes to hair and scalp? Jojoba oil is great. Jojoba oil is one of those types of oils that actually mimic the natural oil that your
Feels off
scalp
the body.
produces.
Yep.
So it does mimic the sebum that your scalp produces. So jojoba oil is great for the scalp and great for the hair. Jojoba oil on the hair doesn't give like a lot of sheen, like and I use the word sheen, not shine, because for the most part curly hair to me is never shiny unless you're straightened out, but it can give off a good sheen. But jojoba oil is good for the hair and for the scalp because it mimics the natural oil that your scalp produces. Sounds good. Let's see. Woo, cha. Diana, you asked what ingredients to look for in shampoos, conditioners, and stylers. That is a long one. I'm writing
Ooh,
that one down.
yeah.
I
Now
will
that
do. I
conversation itself is
promise
a
you.
long one.
Yes, I'm writing that one down. Here's my pen. I am going to do a whole live on that. That can be, I mean, I can give you the general disclaimers that people say: no sulfate, no phthalates, no mineral oil, but that's just surface stuff. I want to
Mhm.
make sure that I give you exactly what you need. So I'm going to make sure that I do a live on that just for you, because that one is a good one. For those of you who are not subscribed to my email listserv, I send out emails as well. And with the emails, I'm able to communicate with you more, and I type the email. A lot of the things that I say in the live, I also put it in an email for those of you who do not participate in the lives. But if you go to my website, curlhouse.com, you can sign up for my email. I promise you, I do not inundate you with emails every day. I don't even have time for all of that. But I typically send out maybe one email a week or every other week. That is all you're going to get from me. So go to curlhouse.com and sign up for my email, because in the email, I'll announce what I'm talking about during the live. But yes, Diana, I'm going to have a whole live just for you for that. Same thing. The question, what do you do for fuzzy hair type? For that question, that is a whole live on fuzzy hair type. I don't know the exact question. I don't know if you're asking about styles, products, ingredients. If you can clarify that for me, I'll also include that. If you can clarify that, that will be great. But I'll also do a live on that as well. Okay. I thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. I think I got all the questions. The person who did the porosity test in terms of the hair floating at the top, but you have several types of hair. So generally with that at-home porosity test, let's see, if it goes to the bottom, it's high porosity. Your hair really sucks in a lot of moisture very quickly. If it floats to the top, it's low. If it's in a medium, if it's in the middle, it's kind of medium. So if you float it to the top, then you have a low porosity hair. And contrary to what people think, low porosity hair is a good thing. It's not a bad thing to have low porosity hair. You don't want high porosity hair that when you put moisture in it, your hair just sucks it up and then it just disappears just as quick. You don't want that. A lot of times when you're dealing with hair that has been chemically processed, either relaxer or bleach or permanent color, then that instantly puts you in the high porosity hair type. So low porosity hair is a good thing. Okay, in terms of products. So I'll include that in the upcoming live, because that's a whole live in terms of products and ingredients. I'm writing it down. See, I'm writing it down. Products for, you said fuzzy hair. I don't even know what fuzzy hair is. What's that hair that's kind of like, what's fuzzy hair? You know
It's
what
kind
fuzzy
of
hair is?
vague.
Huh?
See, it's kind of vague. It could be
Yeah.
many,
Wait, hold on.
things.
Let me put, what do you use for fuzzy hair types? I don't know what fuzzy hair is. Now, I've heard a lot of words to describe natural hair. Fuzzy? Do you mean frizzy hair? Or tell me what fuzzy hair is, because I want to make sure I address it in the lives. Let's see. I think I answered all the questions. So just in conclusion, I would like to thank you very much, Jarrell, for joining me on this live. Again, Jarrell works with Just Main's Hair Salons. He specializes in natural hair and all hair, and he is a hair loss practitioner and trichologist. He does a lot. He focuses on healthy hair and scalp. So if you are dealing with any type of hair loss challenges, whether or not your hair can be restored, can't be restored, if you're in the middle or somewhere in between, and if you're looking for some cosmetic solutions, then Jarrell is the man to call. He can be reached at 804-416-5022. That is his salon number, which is over in Glen Allen. He does do private consultations for your hair loss solutions. And he's a part of the team. As our salon grows within the next 3 to 4 months, we are opening a huge hair loss and restoration center in the Richmond area, which is why I've been behind scenes for such a long time working on that. So it is coming, y'all. It is coming to Richmond. If you don't live in Richmond, you can definitely come visit us. Okay, did you have anything else to say? Thank y'all, everyone, for joining me for tonight's live. Let me make sure I got your information up here one more time. Thank you, Miss Antoinette. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let me see. I'm trying to put your information so everyone has your information. But did you have anything else?
No, I didn't. I want to thank you again for having me. I was honored to be a part of your webinar tonight, and hopefully I'll be back soon.
Oh, you are welcome, because More are coming. Okay, guys, y'all have a fabulous evening. And until I talk again, until I see you again, stay fabulous.
My God.